everybody. My name is Andrew. I'm the founder and CEO of Lasso. Super excited to show you some cool stuff today, answer questions. Today, we're going to be going over Lasso Displays, how best to use them, good examples of when you should put a Lasso display, where you should put a Lasso display, and taking a look at some really good ones out in the wild. All right, so this is Lasso. So we've discussed on some of the webinars how we're able to literally multiply your Amazon Associates commission. And today we're going to be going into how you increase the CTR of your affiliate offers and really just drive conversions on your site. And so we have a few different display types. Today we're going to be going over our single display, the most common one that you've probably seen everywhere, our grids, our lists, and some table displays. And no better place to start than my friend Matt Giovanisi's site. This is a single display, and this is what we're most known for. This converts exceptionally well at this point. 5+ years since it was first created, it's been split test tens of millions of times, various versions, mobile, desktop, and our core themes that launch with Pro. There's one theme that launches with Lasso Lite, but our core themes are all geared towards conversion and then integrating into your brand, so it feels like it's part of your site. And the cool thing is if you kind of look through Matt's site and how he does things, he has always like lines around his images, and it just kind of fits with his aesthetic. This just has a single CTA button, description, title, image, disclosure. He put a badge up here, his best course, and he's using a Lasso brag. And so you can enable this on any display. And if someone clicks this and signs up for Lasso, because believe it or not, your competitors are stalking out your site, you'll at least get a commission from them. So that's a really cool single display. Another one is from Adult Man. This is from his gear page. And so he typically does his pick of the month, and then he goes into all the various things that he recommends. He takes a common approach to many of our customers in that he has his core CTA button that will drive you to the actual page where you can buy. So in this case, it's Paravel, could be Amazon, could be really anything. We work with all affiliate programs. And then the other one is to read the review. And the reason we kind of like accidentally found this, but when you put a review, or if you have a review and you add that button, people may be like, hey, I like that bag. It looks really cool. And maybe these like in isolation images on the site look great, but you want to learn more. It's not a cheap bag. And you want to find out a bit more. And interestingly, if you go to his review, he has a super punched up Lasso display. This is also just a single display where he uses pros and cons. He has various ratings, a top level rating. His description he kind of uses as a bottom line. What's cool about this is this shows the extensibility of the Lasso display. It's written and built in such a way you can literally do almost anything with it. And if you're on the Pro plan, we will help you get there. Another one is on one of my sites. So I have a few displays on the site, and so one is driving you to content, the other is converting you. But this is one style, and then what we did is this is for our affiliate offers, and then we decided to take one of the other themes and style it very differently to promote our own products. And so this way, when someone's going through the article, these are meant to kind of like fit in and be additive to the content. And this is really meant to be like, bam, in your face, stop you in your tracks. A lot of them kind of like start with a free offer, and it pulls them deeper into our funnel. And it's proven to work really well for us. And so that's kind of another way that you could use our multiple themes. One, you could just like choose a theme and run with that. Or you could do what we do, or what Dean does, and have different themes kind of have different meanings across your site. Um, Something I also wanted to call out as we look through things like Dean's gear page is kind of like his resources page is just all monetized things. It's not, there's really no content. This is kind of, you land on a site, you read something, you love his work, you eventually land here. Um, and we have a similar thing on List of My Matters. But then when you go to the review, the first thing he does is a big call out box with all the details that you need to know about what you're looking at. And you will see this theme over and over as we go through various displays. This is a really great conversion tactic. A lot of people land here and then check this out. This has everything they needed to know. They kind of almost don't want to spend more time on the decision, and then they just buy. I just want to call out one other thing without like really reading this article. One of the common ways that displays are used are almost as a continuation of the content. And it depends on the display and where it is. But a lot of times people will write some things and then it's almost like they took a paragraph out of their content and just made it the description of the display and oriented it around the product. So it kind of just like reads through and doesn't feel disjointed. Another one, this is, and so we're moving into another display type. So there was a single display we were looking at before. The next one is a grid. A grid is just kind of like many single displays side by side, chained across various rows. It's like groups of things. Think if you were describing your look, you know, you took a picture of you wearing jeans and a shirt, and you might have every component of your look as its own box. People also can do things like this where they pull a display to the side of text. But typically grids are used to either package a bunch of things that you'll need together, juxtapose two options, or just honestly make something narrow. And so a lot of people take this approach and they'll stick this in a sidebar of a desktop version of their site. And so that they can just kind of monetize every page at least with something. Grids do really well, or they're built to kind of be narrow. And so, you know, whether it's like one across, two, three, it's configurable. Next, good friend of mine, Thomas Frank. He has a college site. He gets a ton of traffic, has done it incredibly well, especially with his college packing list. And a lot of these things are visited, or this page specifically is often visited by parents in addition to students. He promotes his product here, you know, his course. And then he has a grid to kind of like, he has so many items that he needs to show that a grid is a great use for that. If you were kind of deciding between three things, you can see them side by side, but it has just enough information that you need to make a decision or perhaps dig deeper, you know, click this button. But you can also scroll easily. And so, you know, you can throw your Prime logo in, which is like the kind of like low key way of saying like, yeah, this is from Amazon. Image, description. He didn't throw price in here, but honestly, for a lot of these things, like you need a reading lamp, cool, that's good. Not that it doesn't matter what it costs, but it's pretty commoditized. And so that's the grid in a nutshell. A lot of people, we looked at Dean's gear page. A lot of people do a resources page. On my financial site, we do a toolbox, same idea. Just like all the things you recommend across your site in one place. This page has accounted for about 10% of our revenue pretty consistently. And so while it's not driving the site forward, 10% is nothing to shake a stick at, if that's even a saying. So it's something that a lot of niche sites do, and that's why it brings in revenue. After the grid, we have our list display. So I showed you last week one of my sites, Gift Lab. And these are just all items that are in Lasso. You know, we could show a price if we wanted to, but we're not. Um, so the images get updated, like everything gets updated, it's kind of like managed. Like if this went out of stock, I had to update it. I could update this link, and every list I included it in will get the new product with the new image and the new button, just kind of like seamlessly. Um, One of the cool things about this is one, it's a really great format for listicles. It performs really well, but also the structure of a list, it uses structured HTML, and so it gives Google more information. um, Google likes structured HTML, and so it ranks well. Another one, so they actually have a table up here, which is pretty cool. But kind of like grabbed this one for the list. So then they did a single display here, and here's their list of all foam mattress reviews. Um, and it's just a numbered list of all their mattresses. Some of them have reviews, some don't. Some have prices, some don't. But it's a great way to kind of like show all this stuff. This page doesn't even necessarily need to rank. um, he treats this more like a category page, because all of these buttons, the R reviews, are linking to his reviews. The slug is mattress reviews, and so maybe a better approach to, because and he has content up here, images, stuff like that, but a way to send people to where they want to go. It's ordered in the way that he cares about, and it feels less like I'm thumbing through a blog and more choosing a product, which is honestly what he wants. So moving into tables, I just really loved this table. I thought it was tight. I thought his buttons were cool. Just a cool way to kind of customize it. He added like my millennial guide rating in there. He has his single displays down here, so you'll eventually go down to something like this. And again, a lot of these big sites that are really successful link to the review. As I've explained in another video, you may come here to this article and you're like, I want to get my kid who's not yet old enough for their own card something so that they can learn how to use a card. And Greenlight is a great option. So, okay, it kind of fits the purpose, but I'm not sold because I have very specific needs with my, how my family runs, my kid, whatever. And then you would just jump into the review. And so you're going to read the review. He has a CTA up top, but he's going to give you more details. He puts a single display in a bunch of places to try and convert you. Top, bottom, middle. He has his table again here. And so I've been interested by what is a real post, best debit card for kids, kind of like a listicle style thing, drilled into something that interests me to learn more. And then he'll just get me over here. And so better, instead of just setting them here, them not being ready and hitting back, they stay on your site, go deeper, build more trust. Next site is a barbecue site. He has a table up here kind of outlining all of his pellet grill smokers that he recommends. And then single displays again. And so this is another way to approach a single display where you could just kind of have two retailers. So he obviously wants you to go to Weber. I have no doubt that he will earn quite a bit more if you buy it from Weber. So he put the button first. But look, like if, I don't know, you can't possibly imagine buying something that's not on Amazon, the Amazon button's there. Moving on, an aquarium site. We have another table. Again, like tables, they could be shown either horizontally or vertically. This is horizontally, so it kind of is, in this sense, a tighter grid. It's a bit more work to put something like this together than a grid, although the builder, I think, is pretty easy. But he shows that it's prime. He has his primary rating, check price on Amazon. Pretty straightforward. Again, diving into a single display under each item. He's going with just bulleted, kind of like why you should care, why it matters, check price. Obviously, common CTA you're catching. A lot of it is either check price or buy at or buy from, and then the retailer name. This is my personal finance site. Again, this is our table. Super customized, but just something that you can do with Lasso. We could help you with it. We push to our review, we push, primary CTA to sign up. We even have another CTA hiding in here under promotion. Um, yeah, and this is just another horizontal display. So that is a bunch of Lasso displays in a nutshell. I think you saw like examples of how people use it in the wild. If you had a specific site, like an aquarium site or a BBQ site, and you just weren't quite sure exactly, what the best practices are, how you might want to use it, you can always just hit us up, email or intercom. Every page in Lasso and on our sites has this little chat bubble. This goes straight to the team. And we take great pride in giving you killer response time, white glove support for our paying customers. So if you're unsure, just ask us. We'll help you. We our North Star is you making money, making more money. So anything that helps get you there makes us really happy. So that is Lasso out in the wild in a nutshell. I'm going to jump into questions. Mike Marshall asks, what is the best way to get in touch with the white glove support? Is it via intercom? Yes. So if you are just starting out, I think our SLA is maybe like 36 hours. If you're in startup, it's 24 hours. It's on our pricing page. But if you're on pro, we'll get back to you same day, or at least acknowledge and let you know that we're working on it, even if we don't have an exact resolution. Intercom, email, Facebook, like literally it all flows into the same joint inbox. So it kind of doesn't matter how you hit us up. I think the chat bubble's pretty great. We have all sorts of rules and routing. So depending on your plan, you'll get put in the queue in the right order, priority wise. So just reach out to us. If you're a customer, we know who you are. Yeah. And then Mark McKinsey asked, 60 to 70% of my web traffic is on mobile devices. Do all these layouts just snap to a single column format on mobile? I can't speak to our customer sites and if they are all mobile friendly, although I hope they are. And I can definitely attest to some of the larger ones. And I hit a few larger ones. They look tight on mobile. Mobile has been for Lasso, the SaaS product, and my content sites. Mobile has been the biggest thing for many, many years at this point. For Gift Lab, the gift site that I shared, it's like 70+% at this point. And so all of our displays are built mobile first, and we make sure it looks tight on mobile, and then we kind of like made sure it looked good on desktop as well. Everything for example, there are restrictions to, like, you can't make a grid that's 10 items wide, and we just like kind of restrict certain things, like mostly because there's no way to do it good on mobile, and we know that at best or worst half your traffic will be mobile, likely higher. And you've hired us to drive conversions, and so even if you want to do something, if we know it sucks, we're just not going to let you do it because we need you to generate revenue so you stay around. So yeah, definitely oriented towards mobile. To get into the Q&A side of things, one question is, do I have to be on the pro plan to get all of these display types? The answer is yes. So if you are on Lasso Lite or the startup plan, you will just have access to the single display. That is our bread and butter. Literally on every page that even had a grid or display, for the most part, they also even had a single display. Many times a table will drive more conversions. Reviews, they almost beg for tables. Best lists kind of beg for tables. That's all on the pro plan. And the idea is, if you are just getting started, don't even like sweat the table piece yet. Get into monetization, get at single displays on your site, you'll know when you're ready to move to table. Um, but you will need the Pro plan for that. Next question, is Lasso compatible with Shopify or is it just WordPress? So our displays currently are only on WordPress. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I believe that early next year that will finally no longer be the case. It will be essentially available everywhere. Um, that said, if you did just want to track your revenue, what's getting clicked, what's converting, how much money did you make yesterday, and you are on Shopify, you can use Lasso for that. You just need our plugin for the displays currently. Next question. This is from Robin. Last week, you showed your giftlab.co website and talked about the list functionality. Can Lasso also help one set up a page similar to the GiftLab homepage with a grid of items or topics like those that introduce your list posts? And I can share my screen to give you an idea. Let me see. I'm really pushing it, trying to screen share like 4 or 5 times here. So if we go to the GiftLab homepage, you'll see we just have like what is, dare I say, a grid of posts. This is in the theme. This isn't the Lasso display, but there's no reason why you couldn't do it with Lasso. And the fact that there's no borders around this and it all kind of feels unified, that fits with our flow theme. Our flow theme, the single displays, the grids, they don't have borders. It's meant to kind of feel integrated into the content, or like deeper integrated. So I don't see why you couldn't do it with Lasso. Might be better long term with the theme, doing it in your theme. But up to you. And honestly, like if you do need help with things like that, message us. So thank you for coming. Email or message us for 10% off annual, and I will see you next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye.